And don't forget, hit the bell at the right side of the screen so you'll be notified when a new episode drops every week. Don't forget, click like and subscribe.
World, welcome to another episode of Femme Queen Crazy.
Sexy.
Cool.
Ew. What's up, ladies?
Yeah, it's black and white.
Okay. I don't know how we are so aligned like that. I promise we never, ever ask each other what we're wearing or anything, but it's always something that connects the colors. I guess we're really connected.
Yeah.
So we're not faking being sisters.
No.
Sometimes.
That's the Femme Queen energy I was saying. That's that Femme Queen energy I be talking to y'all about. So
I'm here for it.
So what y'all thought about that last episode, though?
I thought it was cute.
It was really fun. I had a good time.
It was a good time. I think
learned
it's always
some
a
stuff
good
as well.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, to educate and to have a good time. And so I thought that was amazing. I love when, each person gets to speak their truth and
definitely. Are you left with any questions?
I think I got all my questions answered.
Really?
Yeah, you were testing it.
Because you was definitely carrying
You were
it
testing the limit. No, I'm joking.
I was, right? You think so? Bitch, I'm going to ask what the people want to know. God damn it. I'm not about to sugarcoat it. I'm going to say, is this like it is? I got to look back at it. I got to be like Tabytha and want to edit some stuff then if y'all think I
So here we go.
Because I say what I say, and it's just that. Stand on it, because I need that. No, I watch too much now. That TV. I need that.
Whenever she take an edible,
on my soul.
They're being the other side come
edible. I don't do that stuff. What is she talking about? You know what I was thinking? I'm like in this space. Oh, first of all, I'm so excited about the show today because we have what I feel is like the core of ballroom in the house tonight.
Yes,
and these are the commentators, and these are like the top commentators. So I'm very excited about that. I definitely think that we'll probably bring them on a little earlier than we normally do. Yeah. Because, hell, they talk and they make money with their mouths, like I said. So I'm like, it's so funny that I'm in this stage in my life, and I don't know if you guys have gone through this or are going through this, and I have talked to you about it. And so sometimes it starts to feel like I'm just at a no-nonsense point in my life where, like, if you are not aligned with what is going on, if it's a headache to talk to you, if we're arguing all the time, if you're just not supportive, if you're not, I'm letting it go. Yeah. Like, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm letting it go. And I just think that, like, sometimes it's scary to me because it's like I called my mother and I was like, am I gonna be lonely? I'm losing my friends. Is it me?
No, you're getting ready for the new life. I feel like that's when it's time for the new life.
But I also think that it comes at when you're at a point where you just realize what you've given so much, and then you feel as though, I don't want to say like it feels like you don't have enough time to do what you want, but you've given so much of yourself that you're like, no, I want to do this for me now. So a lot of the things that don't align with you won't align with you, so you get rid of it. Where you would make allowances for before, you just come to a point where I'm not doing that anymore because it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't help me in any way. And for me, I do get the importance of having someone who's also equally pouring in, and it's like a reciprocated thing, because it's never supposed to be one side. It's never supposed to be where you're left triaging everything all the damn time.
Yeah. I feel like if it's not adding, because I'm already happy, I feel like you have to continue to make yourself happy, and people just come into your life to add to your happiness. Like, you can't make me happy. but you can add to it, and that's what I'm looking for. If you can add to my happiness, then that'd be beautiful. But if not, I think even if I've come to realization that you're not compatible with everyone. But how I move around life now is you just won't get access in those areas anymore.
When you say that you're happy, do you think are you like totally happy?
Mentally, yes. The best I've ever been, yes.
Do you think that came with like growth?
Growth, accountability, me focusing on being the best version of myself and really standing foot in that.
That's why I'm like training for everything. Bitch, they be like, what you doing? I'm in this class. I'm in this class. Bitch, I'm trying to train. I just want to be the best. Like, I want to make the next move the best one, bitch. I want to show up like, bitch. Like, bitch, I want to just show up.
That's what it's about.
You know?
But that's what it's about. I feel like we should be ashamed for wanting better, like growing and just living life. Yeah.
But I think I was saying to my best friend, I was like, I think I have a codependency on when I'm very close to somebody. Like, it's like, I want you to be in this phase of your life too. Like, it's like, I feel like we need to do this, and I should be more of I. But when I'm really close to someone, a lot of times I really realize that I want them to want what I want. Not necessarily what I want, but I want them to want the things for themselves too.
The same things you want for yourself, you want for them.
Yeah,
basically.
I want
them to want that.
Yeah, and it's not really fair to just because you might be at a certain place that you expect that someone else is supposed to be there.
I think that there's a spin to that, right? It's all like, you know how we have these little catchphrases that we say, you ain't a boss unless your whole team eating. Like, you want everybody else around you to equally be able to divide the food on the plate. If I'm missing the peas, you got to come with the peas. Like, and if you, like, I was just saying this, like, access doesn't guarantee, someone's level of success doesn't guarantee you access. And sometimes when you want more for other people than they want for themselves, it's okay to walk away from that. Because at the end of the day, only two things can happen. Either they're going to resent you or you're going to be stagnant. So you really have to learn how to separate from that immediately.
And choosing yourself.
And choosing yourself. And I think
because
we've always been conditioned to carry and to problem solve, we carry a lot of shit that necessarily we don't have to.
We don't
and
own.
I'm learning to unburden that.
That's very true.
So
we carry a lot of shit we don't own.
So let's say you have like a really like a close friend, right? Like, I have someone that I call the sister, right? And I'm like, I had to like cut it off because it like stays like if I don't, like there's no in between. It's always like all or nothing. And it's like, I can't deal with you all the way right now, but I won't mind saying hi from time to time or how are you? But I know that individual is not going to be like that. So I stay away because of whatever reason. Like, how do you navigate that? Like, do you just move on?
I feel like, okay, so it was one particular person that I had to, because I put boundaries up now, like, and I need you to understand that as a friend. If I don't expect you to be in the same place that I'm in, but I expect you to respect the place that I'm in. So that's where I'm at. But as far as the friend it was a friend, I told her, I put a boundary up with her and she didn't understand that. So I just had to move on. Like, it's so many times. I feel like you don't have to explain where you're moving at, but you could. You could put it up there.
But I think I said that last episode when I said that if you're around people who you feel as though you always have to, like, prove something to them or, like, show up in ways that make you feel like you didn't want to do it in the first place, but you're doing it for them, it's okay to find the balance where that works for you and you're able to help someone else, but it also is different. Like, if you're feeling like this relationship is not good for you, it's stagnant. So if you can know, like, you feeling that every time you call this person, bitch, it's going to give Debbie Downer, then don't pick up the phone.
Kiki, like, what do you, like, do you, do you compartmentalize like friendships?
It's never,
like, 'cause
it's so,
I never do that. Like always, it's all in. Like, I mean, if you're my friend, I want it to be all in. Like, you know, I really want it to be all in. And that means like support on both halves. And if I feel that you're not being supportive or something, or you're not being the friend that I at least think I am or try to be, then like it starts being like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
so what does support look like for you?
Support looks like for me, like, bitch, if I'm doing something big, like I always, if we have a conversation, I want to know what's going on with you. And if there's a way that I can calm, like if you have a performance or a speaking engagement or something like that, just being that type of friend that's going to show up, or the person that's going to motivate you and keep telling you to go after whatever it is that you're going after. Just being supportive whenever, like, you know, whenever I need to, maybe like, I mean, because if you're my friend, like my closest friend, I tell you everything. Like, so I do.
I like to, I'm the same. When it
it's
comes to
only
my
a couple
close
of people,
friends,
but bitch,
so.
you gonna know everything, because I need us to be able to, because bitch, we walk around with this face, bitch, in front of everybody else, like, you know, shit don't stink, but bitch, you be going through your own shit, and sometimes you need to let that off. Like, you know, as long as that's not happening all the time, but then there's some friends that, bitch, they just always going through something.
Well, I don't judge. I've been there, so I don't judge them. I just move on from that. Like, I can't be there with you. I think your healing journey is for you. I feel like you do have your community of people that love on you during those moments. And for me, during where I started to realize I need to focus on myself, I did have a couple people that gave me grace. So, and understood that I was going through my healing journey. And you had, like, I feel like you have to live the life that you want to, but for me, I definitely feel it's important for me to give my friends that I do have, if they're in that healing journey, I give them grace and just try to pour that love.
But you got to see some type of steps.
But if they
like
start pulling me, if I feel like it's just, we're not even going to be there, because I don't allow myself to answer the phone for them all the time.
See, I have a problem with not answering the phone. Like, I don't like to not answer the phone.
What do you mean?
I don't like to like look at a name and not answer the phone. I feel like I have to. So you feel like you have to end the relationship? Do you feel like you have to? I have to end the relationship because I don't want to just look at the phone and not answer the phone. I had a situation in my life whereas I didn't answer the phone and the person passed away.
Is it hard for you to communicate those type of feelings with people? To confront,
no, bitch,
so the question is for me, like, are you loyal to the friend because of the extent of the friendship, or are you loyal to yourself?
I just feel like it's hard to like get like friends like deep. I'm the type of person, if you was ever there for me in any type of capacity, and my mother be like, okay, Chopper, you done outdid that, like, you know, you done did for them, you done did whatever, then I be feeling like, oh, I can't let this person go. Like, this person was there at one point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I think we dragged that. But yeah, I don't want to get too far into my feelings.
It was deep, but I think there's a place. I feel like there's something that you deeper there for me listening. I feel like you just need to like figure out and hold yourself accountable to have those important conversations.
I do. I go in on my friends. They know everything I'm talking
about that specific individual. Like, why?
I did.
Okay.
I did, but she keeps calling me.
Because they don't understand.
Don't say that. Don't do that.
No, I love you down, girl. I love you down. Just leave my space. This is a little therapy moment.
I know who that is.
This is a little therapy moment for me. And for you, this is my way of speaking back to you, bitch. I love you down, but I need my space.
She does love you. She does love you. I can vouch for that. What I will say,
girl, you know what I'm talking
because
about.
I know who the hell you're talking about. You want me to say it? Okay. What I will say is that there comes a point in everyone's life where you either outgrow or you grow together, right? I think that it's unfair to say that seasons, people are like seasons, they come in your life and they go, but that does happen, right? I think that when you start to give to yourself, I've heard so many people, and you can tell by the post, when I let all that go, and I focused on me, my life started to elevate.
Yeah.
So I think that at what point you want to pour into yourself and give what you give everyone else, right? Because then we get into this validation thing where we wanting everybody to see it, or we want people to be there for us like we be there for them, and they can't. And now we build this resentment, and that drags on and on and on. No.
Let it
Like
go.
pour into yourself, take that sit with yourself and figure out what you want to do and make the best decision for yourself in that moment. Because sometimes you'll be with somebody and be around people who not really on your time like that. And then you just find yourself being drained every time you go home or everywhere you go somewhere. These people just suck the fucking life out of you. And now you're sitting in the house and you wondering where your day went. And you did all those things that you had to do for yourself, you didn't even do it.
Well, you read the 4 agreements. Like, you read the 4 agreements. I don't know if you
did.
read You Are Badass, but if you didn't, you should
I
read that.
started reading yours.
It's-
Did you
yeah.
finish Mastery of Self?
Mhm.
Over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke you for the end.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I think we should start doing?
What?
Lesson of the week.
What was your lesson of the week?
It started off.
I
right
don't-
now.
I have a
said
bad lesson.
yes.
I said we should start doing
I have a really
it.
bad
I-
lesson.
I didn't think about it yet.
What
bitch.
was your lesson?
I was gonna
Yeah.
wait till next week.
So I did double back with a guy I was dating previously that I was talking to. I mean, you know, I'm being in therapy. I'm in therapy, you both know. And we were talking this last week, and I was talking about sometimes I feel like I leave things unsaid. So weeks later down the line, I'll be like, damn, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said this to some, whether it's a friend or relationship. And she was just like, you should start doing that. Let's start practicing. So I did that to an ex, like the guy. And I was like, because I feel like I didn't get everything off. And then we wound up just, in that conversation, we just wound up like, let's hang out. So we went out, whatever, yesterday. And I just knew, I was just like, the lesson I have for myself is like, start really trusting yourself. And understanding that your energy is always, your intuition is going to prove you right every time. Like, you knew that, whether it's not for you. Like, he's not for you. It's not your speed. That's not what you want. Move on. Because I feel like I'll be prolonging things sometimes, but I feel like I needed to have that conversation with him, and it wind up going somewhere else. But yeah.
Those
So wait a
bangles-
minute. So it changed since the
Those
last time we
bangles
talked.
just wear me out.
So you
Being
just,
kind.
so you decided to let it go?
Yeah, I ended it last night. After the date, I did text him. It was just like, you know, I wish you nothing but the best. You know, I just think thank you for tonight, but I think it's, you know, we should just leave this here. And because I feel like I need, and guess what? I used my therapy session in that moment. I said what I need to say. I ended it completely. I communicated that,
And
I
the
was just
lesson
like,
was?
to trust
To
myself.
trust us. I'm an overthinker too. I go back to shit sometimes. Okay. Well, I think that we should go ahead
Well,
and.
what's your lessons? Don't try to put me out there.
I know mine. What's yours?
That I gotta get back to my work and school and do what I gotta do. That's my only lesson. My real lesson is to have work-life balance and to balance the things
And
in my life.
financial balance too,
Yeah,
baby.
just-
Please don't start back
We're
up.
not
on
gonna
that. Please,
start on
please.
that.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, no, honestly, to find a work-life
She needs
balance.
a new budget.
I do need a budget. That's something that I am working on. And the lesson is that, you know, say no. You know, I do a lot of education and I give a lot of people great tools that I don't apply to myself. So
Trust yourself.
my
That's that
lesson,
trust
so my
yourself.
lesson for me and this week has been use the same tools that you give everybody else, because when you are in crisis and you're trying to make up for the crisis, those people who you gave those tools for are using those tools to become successful, and now you're stagnant. So for me, the lesson is making sure that I apply the same tools and the same information that I give everyone else. Because the same way I want everyone else to thrive, I want to thrive. Like, I just don't want to survive anymore. I've done that. I know what that feels like. I just want to, and even if you don't respect me, it doesn't matter about that. I need to thrive, so I'm going to do the things that work for Tabytha, from this point forward. Like,
I'm
and I
so
think
happy
I
that
shared
you're
that.
reading those books. Like, I'm so happy that I'm happy that she's reading those books because I hear it sometimes, like especially just right now.
Are you saying
No,
she
we
sounds
do
like
know.
a book set?
I'm saying
we share books.
I'm saying because I can
Yeah.
hear the messages in the books when she speaks sometimes, and then just right now I just heard it, so I was just like, okay, that's
Right,
good.
because like you know me, I love a good book, and I love to read. But it's like I said, you could see these things. Somebody could give you these tools, and you walk away and put the tools down. I no longer want to do that. I just don't. I don't, and it drains me. I end up calling y'all. Y'all know, so bitch, we're
I
not
had
doing
my
that.
lesson and I forgot now.
Well, bitch, what's your lesson, Miss A?
Bitch, I forgot now, cause girl,
You know,
Girl,
she was,
yeah.
you know she was gonna drag it.
she was dragging it away. Damn, I had a good. Live in the moment.
Oh,
Okay, so then you should have lived
I
in this
should have lived in the
motherfucking
moment. I
moment.
should
Why?
have. I'm sorry.
Why? So why?
But it was
Why?
like live in the moment because sometimes I get ahead of like my thoughts get ahead and it's like, okay, why didn't they call back or why didn't they do like you know what I'm saying? I'm just questioning so many things and just live in the moment. Like, you know, what's gonna happen is gonna happen and keep the faith and just, you know.
You're a hustler, so that's that's a hustling mindset.
You know I was gonna jab you, but I'm gonna let it slide.
What? Maybe it's time to bring these
Yes,
commentators up.
yes.
Shake it up.
Bitch.
Shake it up.
One of the reasons that I like to go to balls, when I go to balls, is I can always count on Jack to have these reads that if you are not big, if you are not witty, or if you're not very
smile.
That now even Keisha's looking out for them, bitch. Because you know there's a Keisha out there. But yeah, I can't wait to have them on. And I also just love Snookie.
Yes,
like,
one of my favorite people.
Yes, definitely. Snookie is amazing on the mic, and it's just Snookie shows so much love to people as well as one of the newer commentators that just rose to the top really fast. So when we come back,
he worked his ass off, chill.
I was gonna
say that because
I
it was
was
giving
saying-
him a hard time at the beginning, and he did his homework.
oh yeah, I mean like coming from like first he was in the Kiki scene, but then he came in and he just like he grabbed the whole like ballroom.
He did.
Like,
he didn't play.
Well, I love them both.
Yes.
Snookie actually gave me my first LSS, and I made a big
really?
post about it. This was a while ago. Snookie was the first person to give me an LSS, and that's the thing for me about commentators. They can either make you or break you in ballroom because they're the master of ceremony on that mic. They could give you the intro that you need or they could pay it. And sometimes the energy that we get comes from them and how they stir us. Because if they giving it, we're going to want to give it. But, you know, I will say I love Snookie. Like, that's what Jack is my, you know.
And
but
Jack is the like the.
Yeah,
I feel like Jack
yeah.
is the perfect person to explain ballroom. Like
the oral history, yes.
He also
He'll take
gives you
back.
the education of ballroom while the ball is happening. Like if you're somebody new to a ball and you've never ever been to a ball before,
He'll break that thing
you're
down.
you're gonna understand.
And that's what I love. That's what I was talking about for Snookie. And he understood that, you know,
that you have to do that.
Because he didn't come, you know, Jack been around for a while, and Snookie haven't, and so Snookie was able to learn his history and do the same, and that's what I love.
What
Definitely.
I also love about the interesting thing about commentators is that they have their eyes and their ears in the heart of ballroom.
Now we made
Right.
them a topic.
No,
Okay, bitch, let's
We
bring
made
them
them
on,
a
bitch.
topic.
Let's
bring them
tell
on.
them all of this,
Yeah,
bitch, because we're
yes.
going to keep on going, because it's
Yes.
going to go, and I think, and
We
I
gave them
think,
their
and
roses.
Jack is, and Snookie is.
We gave them the roses. Well, we got. Wait.
Bitch.
but they
We
do
gotta-
have their eyes and their ears in the
No,
in
they
the
do,
heart of
and I want to
ballroom.
know how is it that they are able to keep up like the way it is, because I know I'm getting older, bitch. And I know me and Jack is around there, you know. I don't even remember all of this shit. But when we come back, we will have our top commentators.
Hey, don't forget to click, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. And hit the bell notification in the right-hand side of your screen so you'll be notified when we drop new episodes every week, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. Continue to follow Femme Queen Crazy, Sexy, and Cool.
Welcome back, where we have the iconic, the pioneer, the actor, the writer, author,
Producer.
playwright, like all the things, bitch. Hollywood, right here. Jack, gorgeous Gucci. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
We also have the legend and the icon in the Kiki scene, the legend and the mainstream, Snookie the advocate. This person, like what you're doing for the youth right now, I'm loving it. Snookie is one of those ones, the podcaster. I loved your podcast.
Yes.
Like all the things. This is another one of the amazing commentators of Ballroom. Snookie West.
Thank you.
Welcome, y'all.
Yes, I'm excited.
Why you giving all this shot like you like?
Anytime I commentate, I'm very loud, but then when it gives regular stuff, I'm very calm. And
Bitch, I'm loud boots here, but
We loud. We could be loud.
we can be very loud. But I love this. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes,
for my fave, my auntie, my good girl, Chastity.
Yeah, it's very fancy schmancy. Yeah, car service pick you up, lunch is ordered, champagne's in the fridge. My girls came up.
They came up.
the Fem Queen experience.
Yeah, shout out to BFTA. I love what you all doing here. I love the empowerment to our community. To have been around for so long and just seeing how important our women are to us, to our scene, to our culture, and then to now have a whole entity dedicated to advocating and promoting you and letting you to push and pursue your dreams. And I love it. I love it.
Thank you. It's an honor to have both of you.
Because I'm sitting here like, well, what the fuck
This
am I
is a
going to ask
big,
this?
big, heavy big right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really Holly do like. I haven't seen you do a lot of interviews.
one with Deshaun.
Deshaun, yeah, like that was like a shocker. But I mean, you don't really be. So I'm like, okay, bitch, yeah.
Who wants to hear what I gotta say? They hear it on the mic all day.
What do you
so.
mean?
There's
This
so
is
much
the upper
history
close.
up in here, but
This
yeah,
is up
this
close
is.
and
It's a
personal.
ball.
Yeah, this is where we get it out. So we might as well start there at history. Like, I came in Ballroom in '96, and you was already like, bitch, I didn't like doing your thing. So when did you start Ballroom?
92,
Okay.
4 years before you. Came to my first ball, and that was it. I was locked, loaded, and in it.
I have a. How did you decide that? Because I also know you used to do face. How did you decide about commentation? Is there any other categories you did besides?
Bitch.
I did it all. I walked like Models Magazine face, Old Way, Face of Performance. When we joined
Drag
the House
Face.
of Mizrah, Drag Face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I remember when she came out, it was so tempting. I was like, girl, I need to get back up in there to stop
She
her.
said on the mic, she's lucky Jackie, you ain't here, bitch. When I
She used to eat it. Like, she used to eat it. I was so jealous. It's like, I might have to see it again. And I think when we joined the House of Mizrah, which is something that I carry till this day, it was like, okay, this is your category, but explore other things, right? If it doesn't work out for you and you get chopped, fine, then you can try. So we did everything, grand prize, like the first 2 years of the House of Mizrah, we walked every as a house grand prize you could think of. So yeah, I was in the trenches, and then all of a sudden it just changed like overnight. It was like, here's the mic and you can't get off of it.
How long was you in Ballroom before you got on the mic?
Probably like a year and a half. I think our sauce with all those grand prizes we used to do, I was always like the narrator to tell the story of what was happening. And our art took me to lunch, and he basically told me, hey, this, you're gonna have a fork in the road. There's gonna be decisions you're gonna have to make. It's not all glory. You take care of yourself, take care of your health. Don't do anything that you don't need to do. Don't be forced by friends to do things you don't want to do. And he really just that was such an eye-opening moment for me. And then he was like, and by the way, for the Chanel ball, I want you to do our grand march. It was like, the Chanel ball, me? Yeah. And that's all when Shady Prada used to have a ball every Thursday in Jersey. And I used to literally go to Jersey. And that was where I got my timing and
To practice.
yeah.
It's so funny the way it links us. There's always somebody that sat down with us or gave us some opportunity that makes that person always is, no matter what, if I'm talking to that person or not, they're always in the forefront of my mind.
Yes.
Because of what they've done.
Yes.
When did you come in the Ballroom?
Jack definitely makes careers in Ballroom.
Bitch, these bitches can make you or break you.
I say that. Some people don't know that, and it's the truth.
I came up in a time where, like, my generation, we had to work hard. Like, it was we were the people people that we had to learn from our generation before us and really work hard. And I'm just so thankful that Jack was just like, I see it. Like, he was the first legend for me that approached me with just like, I see it for you. Like, he just gave me roses and it made me feel good. And as a young girl coming from the Kiki scene, it makes you feel good when you hear the people above you appreciate you. So, yeah. Jack definitely does his big one with that.
How long have you been in the, how long ago did you start the Kiki scene and then into mainstream?
Oh, I came in the scene in 2008, and I was only I think I was 14 at that time.
Really?
Yeah, I came into the scene by a friend, Marquita. Marquita brought me. She came to school, she was walking a ball. She actually walked on one of your rumbles. That's so funny. Marquita was walking Virgin Vogue, and she came on this little sex outfit from the sex store. And I'm like, what are you? I'm not used to seeing that.
Right.
So I'm like, what are you? You're gonna wear that? And she was like, yes, I'm walking a ball. And then introduced me, took me to the door in 2008, and that's how I got introduced to the Kiki scene and seeing it. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And that was 2008. And I was really young, and then I started commentating little Kiki balls to my friend. I was like, oh, I think you should just do my ball. I'll just pay you to do it. And I was like, what? I used to joke in the house and play around and do it. But she was like, just do my ball. I'd rather pay you. And so I did the Kiki ball, and a few years later, she wound up passing away. And so she was the one. So Marquita and Miami, that's her name, both helped me and introduced me to the scene. And then once Jack got a hold of me, he was like,
oh, I can tell Jack got a hold of you. Oh, in the connection. Because I can tell, I didn't never know, but I knew there was, I'm like, that's the new Jack bitch.
Yeah. I'm part of Mizrah. That's why I was in Mizrah. I went for Jack. I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go. So that's what happened. But just a little bit of stuff I poured into him. He's poured the same thing into me as well, and been a mentor and always giving me advice. I'm always confused about certain things with bookings and, if it's my fault if I didn't make my flight, do I need to refund the money or not? Whatever he says, I'm going to do it. No, you don't need
well, give me some advice.
Whatever he says, I'm going to do.
Well, give me some advice. What do you do in that situation?
One that actually really, really stick that he told me. And all this time I started to travel a lot and do balls. a lot on flights all the time. And I would never save my Sky Miles, ever. Mm-hmm. And Jack was like, are you saving them? Yeah. And I'm like, no, because they're just paying for them all the time. So I didn't think I need to. He was like, no, you can use it for your personal time. Yes. So now I save my Sky Miles now. Yeah.
You're lying and kid.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for both of you guys. Even though people asked you to commentate and you went and did it, obviously you both loved it. What made you fall in love with that though, in commentating, and what made you fall in love with that?
Always the energy, being part of the first person I ever heard commentate was Stuart, right? And I mean, just to hear this voice come over when we waited forever for the ball to start, and when it started, it was this booming voice that just was spoke to the entire room, and everybody focused on what he was saying. And the whole night, no matter what was happening on the runway, he was also the focal point because he was the energy. And I said to myself, oh my God, I could do that. Will I ever get a chance to do that? I doubt it, right? And even think about it, and then maybe a year later, I got a chance to do it. And from then till now to this day, it's always the energy. I love going to a ball. I love the energy when you first get there, when we all first see each other before we all start getting mad at who got chopped and who's falling over who. The first thing we do when we see each other is hug each other, right? And we're like, oh my God, you look great. We just saw each other last week. But it's different when you see each other at a ball. It's another aura. And I was always attracted by that. And just even to this, it could be a little ball with 30 people in it, or it could be a grand ball in the middle of Times Square. I'm going to give you that energy because that's what was given to me. And that's what keeps it moving.
I love that.
Yeah, I also think being a commentator is actually, it's really a gift for real. And I don't think a lot of people understand how it's a lot of work. It's really a lot, and it took me you ladies.
And you got to judge 2020 categories now.
Right?
23, 24.
Yeah.
Almost 30 categories now.
Even definitely overseas as well. They overseas, Jack, they break everything
non-binary
down to the T. Yeah. And so those goes along, and I've done a few balls in Paris alone. So those are kind of a lot, but it is definitely a skill, a certain type of skill, and I fell in love with it. Just seeing the greats performing, like Jack, Selvin, Deshaun, Greg. Just seeing those before me. I think I like the attention.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that y'all both are artists. I mean, y'all
Yes.
both have like come from artistry
Yeah.
world, like acting and singing
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm like, bitch, it's
Yeah.
probably like,
and it was
it's
easier
giving
too
it
because commentating is almost like singing or rapping kind of too. And I was singing in church. I was actually singing in church all the way up until I came into the scene, and then of course the scenes took me.
Don't blame you not going to church on the scene.
Okay, look.
Go to church.
Talking about, we were just talking about this. We
Yeah.
were just talking about.
All right, you see,
No, I
thank
just-
you. I
just
found
saying.
you.
No, I mean, you
Now,
can
what
still
was
go
you
to
saying
church.
before?
I just think that sometimes people fall off a little bit,
Yeah.
and I was like singing in church, and I was like one of the main singers, and I just think that I fell in love. And not saying like this distracted me, but I fell in love with the creativity.
Yeah.
I think people on
Same.
ballroom are so
Oh,
talented.
me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Yes,
the
I fell in
same.
love with the creativity,
Yes.
the talent. I fell in love with seeing MCs. I incorporate songs into chant sometimes. Just
Yeah,
catch me
I hear
singing
that.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And people like it. I think I've
Ooh,
switched
ooh,
it. Yeah, you know?
Yeah, that's
Bring
my
that
favorite.
different
Yes,
sound.
ooh,
You know, I
ooh,
don't
yeah,
know.
that's
It's
what
one of
it
the
is.
biggest. It's one of the biggest jobs in ballroom. Like you guys are actually running and controlling the board. I don't think we realize that sometimes that you guys are talking the whole damn time.
Yes.
Like, and y'all are in control
That's
of the
something I
energy
remember as well.
and stuff.
It's like-
But the good thing is that is also that's goals. That's a talent. That's a dream. Like you know what I'm saying. So you're actually living.
And we're naturals.
Right.
Well, in that case, do you guys believe in getting insurance on your voices?
I've heard of that. Like doing this, I've heard it. I never
You know,
even
Tina
knew
Turner
that.
has insurance on her legs.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
I never
$1
knew
million.
that until recently that you even have insurance on your
You
voice.
can't. No, you can.
No, I just learned
can.
that recently, and I think that I would look forward into seeing that indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a PPP stunt to me.
They
They
said they coming back with a PPP. They said they coming back with a PPP people.
So as a
On
commentator,
Really?
TikTok,
Why?
they keep saying that.
Well, I
You
didn't
don't see
get the
that?
first one, so I'll leave the second one.
First, thank you.
so as commentators of the ball, like, what is it something that you do to prepare yourself? Because like the people who are competing, we have like these things that we do to prepare. What do you do to prepare?
Read the category. I read when somebody first hires me and the flyer comes out, I'll read it then, and then make sure that I read it again right before I get to the ball, so it's kind of fresh. So I'm not relying on whether the promoter did his due diligence to have a sheet ready for us or not. I don't want to have to keep looking through my phone, trying to paraphrase, what was written. I try to understand it. If I don't know what it's asking for or what they're trying to get to, I'll definitely hit the promoter and be like, well, how do you want this?
And if it's printed, we don't want no small print.
No small print.
We do not like small print, so and I can barely see. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. I feel like it's so special. I also want to say sometimes people don't know this about well, for me, I can speak for me, but maybe some other MCs have this. Sometimes I don't want to do the ball. Sometimes I don't want to be there. Sometimes I'd rather be home.
Yeah.
Just laying down, scrolling on social media, smoking. I'd rather do that.
You want that
sometimes.
bag.
But yeah, when I come in, I don't show that. I show that I want to be
Right,
there.
that
and
you
I-
Show
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah,
That's smart.
yeah, I get that from Beyonce. So Beyonce would never let you know her feet hurt. She would do everything perfect because she just has
No,
to put
bitch,
on a
because you're
show.
selling yourself for the next job too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like,
But you
so
know,
gotta put it on.
it's nothing. It's nothing to let the world know. I don't want to be here right now.
Right.
I freaking
I'm
can.
doing you a favor.
Yeah.
You see, Lauren Hill did it.
No shade,
How
but
dare
they
you?
tore her up.
No,
Be happy.
They
Be
tore her
lucky.
up.
Be lucky.
Question: How do you remember? How do you keep up with? Like we got ballroom has grown, bitch, and there's so many people. And y'all are international too. How do you keep up with all of these talents? These people that are walking. Like, how do you know? How do you know who to call out and stuff? Like, do you go back and research balls and stuff, or you just remember? Like, how does that work?
People who are so the ballroom scene is so crowded right now. I can only remember people who've made themselves memorable.
Right, I agree.
Right? If there's a million Vogue Femmes, but I can only spot 3 or 4 of you, then that means you're not doing the job yet. Right?
Ooh.
And then I call everybody
Lesson.
Keisha, and it makes it all easier. or Mary or Francine.
Yeah, well, I have to juggle mainstream and Kiki,
And
as
Kiki.
well.
Right.
So it's
Oh
like
my
a double
gosh.
whammy. It's a lot. I don't know. I think I don't remember some things, but I try to remember that. I don't know. It was part of me growing to learn it.
So smokers can remember everything.
Yeah, they can.
No, I know
Okay.
y'all got so many people that try to be your friend.
So, but what I want to say is that you've also stated that publicly, though, on the mic,
That you didn't want to be
Like,
here?
no, not that he don't want to be here, but something to Jack said that, it's what I remember. Like, it could be 1,000 of you, but it's something that you did that makes me remember you. And I remember you said that. You will address the room quickly and be like, don't be mad at me if we don't call you out.
Yeah.
If you ain't been in the field, I'm not
And
going to
the
call you
Cash
out.
Apps, did that really
You know
happen?
what I'm saying? No, we're going to get to that. Wait, no.
Yeah, we're gonna
Do
get
they
to that.
really cash out for call outs, or is that a joke?
It really happened.
Yeah, I
They'll
know
buy you a
that's- I know
drink, or
that's
they'll
the
come
thing,
right before you with a cocktail. Like, here you go. Are you about to do LSS stuff again?
You don't want to
Oh,
hook out
for
with
real?
No,
Yeah.
but it definitely happened. Yeah.
Get your money.
You said you
Do
don't
your
want to
biases,
scare the
and I
money
just
away.
have one
Yeah.
question. Do your biases ever get in the way? Like,
Be
do you,
honest.
like, so if you don't really like somebody or whatever, but they're talented, do you not call them out?
Honestly,
There's a
Like,
lot of
how do you
people I
handle that?
don't like that I do call out because
Okay.
at the end of the day, if they're there and they, the girls are gonna go up, I will call you up because it's
Yeah,
for the
that's
energy. But I
Yeah,
might not
no,
like
I
you,
just-
Keisha.
I'm the same way.
you're still a Keisha.
Yeah, it's the same way.
Or Tanya.
If it's a people's favorite, like a ballroom favorite, I know they're talented. That's one thing I would say. It doesn't matter if we have. I don't have beef coming from my end. It's always beef on their end. But if there's if we don't like it, there's a disagreement, we don't like each other, whatever the case is. I still have a job to do at the end of the day. I guess I really pick and choose when I feel like doing that. Some girls I don't like, some girls I don't like. But it's all depending. I still call out talent because they're still talented. You can't take the talent away from them. They're still talented. So
I like that.
Or the mic. She's still talented though. I call her.
talented girls.
No, because you got to catch the
Now,
vibe.
whenever somebody here, we say, we'll talk about, she's talented. You don't like her.
No.
Well, that's the one they don't like. Now you don't mess up the word talent.
No, because the dialogue between both of y'all when y'all up there, when y'all interacting because you're coming to the mic and y'all to lean in,
No, that's
and then
how
y'all
it
look at the list, and then they'll come back and they'll nod, Jack and nod, and it's like, okay, here's the other list.
No, they work better. I feel like I need to get paid for this. After I say this, but no, but I feel like one of y'all have to be there. Like I feel like I don't want to. There's just certain energies that you just want at a ball, and I'm not taking away from anybody else. And there are some other fab ones that I feel like y'all need to be there too. But I'm just.
No, I get what you're
I
saying.
just,
A lot
you
of
know
people
what I'm
say,
saying? Like,
yeah.
I need
But
to
it's
hear,
true.
there's certain things that people bring, and y'all have these distinctive things that it just makes it all okay,
Because
like
we
you
live
need that.
and work, it's business.
Yeah.
I think that Jack is one of my favorite people to work with. It's because he knows all the history of everybody. He'll give you the rundown from the beginning to the end. Jack, you remember balls from so long ago, like if it just happened. But I love it because it's part of his wittiness.
It is.
He's very.
Because he'll tell you who
You
you got
like-
sat by,
Right.
in case you forgot.
I don't remember that. He always be like, I don't remember that.
He remember that. And I love that because I feel like history is really, really important because he has to pour that into somebody else and to keep it going. So that's why I just love the chemistry between me and Jack. And we play no games when we come to work. We come to work, and I think that a lot of ball promoters that see that they know I need my ball to finish.
and
I need somebody who's going to command the room and get it together. If there's a fight happening, I know that you're going to handle that and continue the ball, and that's what they need. So you can chant down all you want and have the best lyrics, but can you finish and run a ball is what they want to know.
Well, let's make it hot. Let's get to it. My question to you both: how does it feel when there's a fight happen? There's something crazy happens, like a fight. Remember the person got maced, like they maced the whole panel. How is that for you as a commentator, and what do you do in those situations?
Don't get me to start talking about me commentating in fights. But
Fight breaks
Mother
out,
say
like-
anyone?
Oh gosh.
You know what? To me, when stuff breaks out, you want it to be. You would hope that. All right. First of all, there's a mix, right? We are a powder keg when we're at a ball, right? There's people that's there with all different type of emotions. Some are drunk, some are on drugs, some are too high, some already came in with emotions and stuff that's preceding the event, right? So we're all just waiting sometimes to just explode and combust. So whenever there's like an outbreak, you want it to be controlled really quickly so you can either get the participants out the room or get it back to settle so you don't ruin the night for everybody else. Like we've been to balls where a fight breaks out and it's over. Not because the people put us out, but because the room has gotten destroyed and there's no going back to it. So for me, and they're happening less and less when I'm around, thank God, because I don't, want to witness that. I don't want us to ever have to have a fatal incident at a ball.
Yes.
That's my biggest concern, that we wouldn't want that on our hands, blood on our hands, literally, right? We went through enough. We've been through enough trauma. We are trying to bring the beauty out on here, right? But we can't be responsible if something does happen like that. But I think it takes for all of us to learn when shit is popping off that somebody has to take a step back, and we have to forget that everybody's watching. We got to forget that the cameras are on. We got to forget that, somebody's gonna think you're a punk because you stepped away, right? And we have to. Hindsight is a motherfucker, and when you think about it later, when it's too late, then what, you sitting up in jail,
damn.
gagging,
And here come the damn.
gagging,
Yeah.
Okay.
devastated.
I mean, you think about it, we still get paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether the fight breaks out or not, you still have to be definitely be traveled, and you flew here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like the fighting stuff. At least I was fighting when I was younger in the Kiki scene, but I don't know. The fighting thing, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah, it's
It's
like we have a
bad.
competition. Like, let's have fun. and
What do
enjoy
you
the
guys
performance.
think that ballroom could, because I'm not saying it happens a lot, and I don't want to put it out there, it happens at every single ball, but sometimes things do happen. What do you think could prevent those situations from either stopping? Because you can't, like you said, people may come in with this perceived energy, they may have this, stuff going on, but what can you do
But you've
to
been an advocate
help
of the
stop?
ban list, right? Are
Oh
you
yes,
one-
I love the ban list.
Yes,
Remember,
you
I
do.
started that, and I wasn't shy about the ban list. If you got banned at Vogue Nights or at a Rumble as Esquilitas, the next day you were guaranteed to see your picture on the wanted side that says you were banned, and for how many weeks, how many months. So I'm so into that, and I think once people saw I wasn't playing with it, we started having less and less incidents. They started taking it down the block or outside. It wasn't happening in the venue. And I think we need to be really proactive in it. But I think, don't sit there and just want to ban people because it's a power trip. And don't make excuses why this one should be banned and that one
Right,
shouldn't.
shouldn't be.
Right.
And let's do it where it's all connective. If you're banned from Virginia, then you shouldn't be able to walk in Alabama.
anywhere, yeah.
And you damn sure shouldn't go to Paris.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's an energy that you're going to, especially if you're a problematic person that is constantly, like there are people who've got into one incident and, it's like they've learned their lesson and they won't do it again. But there are people who are constantly, it's the same name, it's the
ball.
same face.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like enough with you. We don't throw away our people, but we have to find a way to help you rehab that sense of destruction.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Relax, Keisha.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
really
Do you know how many times I want to pop off and pop somebody in the face at a ball?
God, me too.
And you don't?
And Jack got him.
So,
And the vicious chokehold.
there's already, for 2025, there are already 50 balls about to happen. How do you guys feel about that? I know you guys, the pay is going to be fab. Yes, thank you for the pay, but how do you guys
Are those
think,
50 balls, me and Jack is probably doing 45 of them.
and which is good for your bank accounts, your bank accounts, but do you guys think that is good for
You get burnt.
ballroom?
Oh, boy.
Do you think it's burnt out? Some people feel that it's burnt out.
We not just, we're all burnt out. Our houses are burnt out. Our bank accounts are burnt out. These tables are expensive and they're one after another, after another, after another. We're not paying $200 for a table no more. We're not paying $100 for a table no more, right? We're paying $2,000. And
$1,500.
we want to sit in the front.
Right.
I don't know, but I can't speak for other houses, but I'm very discouraged. And I tell my house all the time, like, look, I don't have to sit at the table because I'm on the mic. But we normally want the first two, not even the third table.
Yeah.
So that means there has to keep money in the coffers for us to be able to pay those tables when they come up. But it's oversaturated. When people are paying a lot more money on effects, they're spending more, right? Because they're winning more, right? But they're spending more, and it's too much.
The gamble is more. Like the prize for the gamble is more. Like, right.
Yeah.
And even that, after a while, it becomes like, all right, another $5,000 winner.
Yeah.
It's so natural now.
And that's the thing. It's like the price, the money goes up.
It goes up, but
and
we're not
it
surprised.
don't
At first we
feel
were
the same.
surprised. When things were going up to 2,000, 5,000, we were like,
And the talent is not going on. And then it's like these categories it's like a $5,000 category and 3 people walk. Like, it's not
Yeah.
giving, like, bitch, it's not giving the girls because it's happening so often.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to look
Yeah, you
forward
can't,
to.
you can't even be a $1,000 winner and enjoy it.
But
Yeah,
that's
bitch, 'cause
why I
the next
said-
bitch is
you know,
doing
I-
it.
you know, I'm
I'm
a
feeling
big-
away
you know,
about
I'm
this
big
whole
on
It's
time.
okay,
This
girl,
whole
it's not your fault, bro. You
conversation.
just
Damn
have
it.
You know,
got
I'm
your
a
5K, bitch.
spokesperson. You know, I'm a spokesperson to say that I feel like major prices should go for people that are listed. You should call them out because you do want the category to mean something more than just 3 people walking or 2 people. I think it should mean more than what it is, and I think it kind
And
of.
you do feel more like when somebody calls you on a list to ask you to walk.
It's
Yeah,
$10,000.
But we be-
you should be. You should. It should only be a list.
Yeah, it should
Yeah.
be.
It's
Yeah.
$10,000.
But I like the list too, but I think that now where ballroom is now, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of more spectators than ball walkers.
That's true.
So you do a list. A list is lovely. We love that. And people love the thing of like, oh, I was calling a list, and you know, and the next bitch wasn't. They love that. But are they coming? You have a list of 15 people, but
that's when you look at who are the people who are fickle, who are the people who, if you put them on the list, that they're going to show up and they're going to show out, and that's how you weed that out. Because you can, you know, you can put a list of 20 together, but out of that 20, how many is going to show up? Like when we did the Elite H's recently, I made sure that the 8 people that was chosen, curated,
Showed up.
were going to
Yeah.
show up
You
because
wanted
they
people that
want an
committed.
opportunity, they want to
Yeah.
shine, and they're hungry for it.
So that brings up another good question. Being in that space, I was able to see ballroom in a different way. Do you feel like that is going to happen for ballroom, or do you think that we have to be intentional and start to form it that way? Because you made some points about the list and the 8 people, and they all showed up.
yeah.
I
Put
think
me on the next panel.
I got you. I think with what we're doing with Reverie and the Halloween Ball and how we're presenting it with the upcoming International Vogue League, right? Which is something from my first days in ballroom, I always would look at as like a grand spectacle. And I felt like presented properly, it can be, anybody can digest what we're doing because you can just look at it and just look at the vividness, the color, the energy, the passion. It's just, you know, you can't look away from it, right? So I think as you start looking for us in spaces where we get to push our agendas further, you will see that start to change. And I think within ballroom itself, promoters need to start going back to those simple ideas of looking at who is going to come and give you a show.
Yes.
And give you a show. And cater to those people.
Because even the judging style was perfect. I
Yeah,
felt
that was
safe.
dope. It was
I
dope.
felt like as judging, that was
Felt
the
safe.
first time that
No
I felt.
run-up?
I
Yeah.
felt
No
but
run-up.
Not
Yeah.
even just the run up.
Yeah.
It was the stairs too. Because you know sometimes when you judge, they stare at you at the end.
Yeah, they come up to the table, bitch.
They
try to
usually
intimidate
looking at you.
Yeah.
You feel somebody burning. Like, damn. So I was able to feel that safety and just knowing that they respect your judgment, and it felt so good. We were all talking about that. All of us 8, we were just like, wow, it
It
felt
made me
good
be
to
like,
judge
I'm
with
not
each
going to
other.
no
It
ball
just
unless
felt
it's like
good.
that.
It felt so.
After I seen it, I
watch
was
it
like,
live.
bitch, right. I'm like, bitch, okay, this
It
was
felt
cute.
From
really
the setup,
good.
everything. Like the
Yes.
2 little pocket for y'all.
Yes.
That was nice. I love that.
Yeah, that was super fun to do, and I'm excited to do more for us
Yes.
because if you have people who champion behind us, like the Reverie team really believes in our community, they love it, and you know, so far everything I've thrown at them that we want to do, and they've championed it. So let's go.
So you've been in a few spaces where I think you're the perfect person to do these type of things as well, because you're very artistic and you can paint a picture and like whatever. But how is it being in spaces like you've had to carry ballroom on your back in certain places? Is there difficulty in making sure that the picture that they play is authentic? Or like, you know, when you've been on you worked with Pose, you worked on Legendary, like you were in these rooms with these people. What was that like?
With Pose was completely collaborative. Like Ryan Murphy was just really interested in what I knew, how much of it I knew, and how we can expand on it to bring an authentic vision of the story. It was still always going to be a story, right? But it's still with all the seeps of as many seeds of realness that I can drop in there, or we can drop in there, right? Because again, organically, the people who produced it or who were actually creating it were not. You know, Janet was not from ballroom. Steven is not from ballroom. So bringing myself in, the Laomis, the Deshawn's in, to be able to to drop jewels into them, so people who are watching may not know who we are, but people in our community can identify and be like, oh yeah, they are doing something great. With Legendary, it was also a different story, because sometimes, again, as great and as the big budget that we have to play with, that was a $25 million show annually that we got literally played with $2.5 million per episode, right? Yeah, so that was huge budget. And
Ryan, give me a check.
right? And
No, that was Legendary.
that was for Legendary.
Oh, that was for
Legendary.
Yeah, that was Time Warner money, baby.
Like, which what?
I wanna.
Okay.
With Legendary, it was a completely different kind of collaboration. We were dealing with some people who had some sort of experience in ballroom, or there's a lot of people who hear of ballroom and they've been around a person from ballroom, and all of a sudden they're an expert in ballroom. And those are the people that we do come across sometimes to be like, no, it is not a damn shablam expert. Okay. If you're such an expert, it's not a shablam. All right. If you're such an expert, every time they're on the runways doesn't mean that they're walking runway. So it was little things like that you have to adjust, but you are working with people. So I think it was more of a teaching. Like after season 1, I felt like really my first week, Legendary season 1, my door opened back and forth more than the showrunners, because everybody in every department had a question. And so if that's what I'm going to have to do and answer all those questions, then that way my title needs to reflect that.
Yeah. And so
Smart
that does happen
That's very
sometimes.
smart.
Yeah, you definitely gotta go on
They
those
be asking
roads.
all these questions.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me, don't you think
Yeah.
we need like a position?
Yeah, when you walk in those,
Is it a
when you walk in
contract?
those rooms, you definitely have to, like, when these networks and stuff want to work with you, you have to go in there and tell them this is how it go, not more, because they don't know. That's why they come to you to begin with. They come to you because they don't know and they need that expertise, and so you come in them and just telling them this is how it go. It's also similar to like when I had to do Port Authority movie. It was a feature film with Lena Bloom. I did that and became the executive co-producer of it, which is so funny. It was originally actually supposed to be Laomi. And she was actually sick and she couldn't do it and be a part of the film. And it was like, well, what about you do it? And I said, well, is that more money? And they said, well, yeah, it's like a whole nother contract. And I was still like, and I'm not knowing any, I don't have anybody telling me. I don't know what's what. I think I don't know if I called you, Jack. Something, but I think I spoke to you about it because I didn't know what was going on. It was like, it's more money. I'm like, what? But the money was amazing. But going into those rooms at those tables, you're really telling them this is how it goes.
Yeah.
So we hear this conversation about going into those rooms, and I always hear that sometimes other people get access to the room and it spoil the bunch. In your experience, how much triage have you had to do when you're in those rooms when it comes to ballroom?
A lot. It depends on what the project is. It depends on who was hired before. But my thing is, I don't mind being in those rooms, but I want to own the rooms. I want to own the table. And that's why I would tell everybody who's
Jackie
ever
talking
looked
about
at me.
me.
If anybody who's ever
about the
judged me
table.
or ever had a comment to say, or like, oh, he's on Pose, he's on Legendary, and he's doing this with ballroom, he's doing that with ballroom. It's like, you know what? You don't know what I fight. You don't know the work that we put in. Like, I will go on set on Pose and be on there 17 hours and be in the same mood that I first walked in, leaving out. Same happy-go-lucky, excited to be there. That's the work. That's how you prove yourself, right? I didn't cherry pick to who gets to be in these rooms. There's a lot of names that I try to bring up in some of these rooms, and some people have already a predetermined idea of certain people, and they don't want to work with you. Some people, don't forget, your names have already came through before I even walked there. So I say this to say that just because you see us doing something doesn't mean that it's so easy. And at this point in our game, though, we want to own the table.
Yeah.
We want to own our own shows. We want to be the ones that are giving the work out instead of being told, oh, this is what you get and this is how much you get to make.
Yeah, I agree.
Because do you think, like, is there going to be a ceiling? Like, if we keep having to go through them, like, are they just interested right now? Like, how much longevity? If we're not getting equity in these things, then how do we sustain it? Like, is ballroom going to be, do y'all feel like ballroom is going to be something that's, because everybody's loving ballroom now.
Yeah.
It's so much. So, I mean, but is that hype? Do you feel that hype will,
I don't know. I think
gonna
it's
go
50-50,
away? Or
'cause
like,
it's like you have the chance where you're like, okay, because they say all money is not good money, right? And so you have different people, and people just think just because it's money involved, take it.
Right.
And I just think ball right now, and that's another reason why I love Jack. Oh my God, it's because he's seeking it, he's figuring it out, because all these things that we want about like, oh, having our own this and own that, and I think that's part of Jack's mission. Is to work
definitely feel
towards
like
it.
that.
I noticed
And so-
that
Absolutely.
too. Jack
So you have
said
to,
to me
like,
one
yeah.
time, we just gotta be patient.
Yes.
Be patient.
Yeah.
You gotta do the work, and when the work arrives, you gotta do it.
And that's the thing, like, we were talking earlier about the importance of names, right? Because your name will hit rooms that you're not even in, which is why, like, I do a thing when I talk, I always bring a name in the room. You see what I'm saying? I do that so the person's name is there even when I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that when we come from a poverty mindset where, well, why is it Jack, or why is not me? Well, Jack is doing this and Jack is doing that, not knowing the amount of work that it takes that Jack is putting into doing this. I think that the importance of bringing those names is celebrating the person that's doing it.
Absolutely.
Like giving them that minute, so therefore their name is in that space. And yes, there's times when people will have a predisposed or you know, a idea of who this person is based off someone else's interaction with them. And that's why I asked that, because when you brought up the Port Authority and Lena, I remember Lena sitting here and saying how hard it was for her when she was in those rooms, being the only one, having to be the example. You know, and a lot of times out of 10, you two are like the ones who are the example or the expert in that moment. How difficult is that for you at times?
Well, it's something that we're really knowledgeable in, right? It's something that this is my life's work. This is my passion. You know, whether you're in my house or not, I know our history. I know us. I know what we can do. I know if I need a dark beauty, I know where to find one. You know, if I need a realness girl, I know where to find one. I need a sexy mermaid, I know exactly where to go. So it's not hard work. It's work. It's not hard work. So I don't feel burdened by any of it.
Love that.
Yeah, I think it's hard work for the people who don't understand it, who don't know how to do it.
Have you brought people on and because
there
some
you go.
people can't, some people have this ballroom persona and sometimes they don't know how to like maneuver the two, or leave the ballroom and leave that person at the door. And when you go in here, you're going to talk business, and when you need to bring that person on, you bring them on if that's what you're getting paid for or whatever. Some people, have you experienced that, like bringing people on that you regretted?
Not necessarily. I mean, not me personally, but I've seen people come on and shoot themselves in the foot. You know, I've seen somebody really want to get in that room and want to get into that position, and they get there, and then just as fast as they got there is as fast as they lost it and never recovered from it. So there's one thing I like to tell to people every season of Legendary, when all the kids are gathered in a room, I'm like, look, your talent got your notice, right? And I say this when we work together, but your professionalism will keep you coming, will keep you booked.
Absolutely.
And it's really true. It's the work ethic, because that costs. Television, production, all of that costs. Right? The unions do not play with you. So if the call time is at 7 a.m., you showing up at 9, or you calling and be like, can I come in tomorrow? That's not an option.
Yeah, I also agree. I've brought people on for Port Authority. I've brought brought mostly everybody who did the Super Bowl commercial for Rihanna that I did. I actually brought a lot of those people on too, because I was helping recruiting and scout people. And so everybody I feel like who I put onto it, I knew would be ready to work and do it and not key with it. So I haven't experienced it yet.
Well, that brings up a good question, because you guys, and when you get in those rooms, you get to be a part of sometimes maybe picking or putting. How do you guys deal with the backlash when polls came out, even Legendary, and even the show you were saying, the movie you were talking about, some people were bitter and upset and went in the comments like, why not me? I should have been there. It was supposed to be me. I should have told the lesson. Or how do you guys deal with that backlash and keep your head up?
I don't care anymore. Because again, like I just said, they don't know what it took to get there. They don't know the battles I fight. You know, you see all the glamour and you think it's all glam. It's work. It's literally work. So I'm not going to be distracted by your sour grapes. If you're mad, you're mad. But if you notice, like in how we work, it's like I'm always going to put on the best for us as a community, right? And I'm going to put on the best for the client. So if they want stars and they want girls who I know is going to deliver, that's who I'm going to bring them. So wait your turn. You know, eventually you'll come up and you'll be able to do it, and you'll get up there.
Big on wait your turn. Some people probably don't know this, but back to the Rihanna commercial I did. If you didn't know, Kevin was actually, I don't know if he was flying from Korea. He flew back in for that audition. I had to audition for the part as well. I auditioned first, and then they had me sit on the panel to audition everybody else to do it. Kevin walked in, you had Precious walked in, you had Boom walked in. They all auditioned for it. None of them had got picked for it except for me and Boom. They picked me and Boom. So like, oh my God, me and Kevin like joked about this, but Kevin was like texting me like, did you know? And I already knew who it was, but it wasn't, they didn't choose him.
So
and they didn't pick him, and I'm like, dang, this is my girl, but I wasn't able to tell him that they didn't.
Yeah, you can't.
And so it was like a back and forth thing. I'm just like, I can't tell you, blah blah blah. And so he wound up not getting picked for it, but then he got picked up for Beyonce.
Yeah, you gotta break
So
some
that's
time.
So
why
you
I'm
wait
just
your
talking
turn.
about
Like
that.
what's
You spoke
for
about
you
that
is for you. I just talked about
Right.
that.
So they
like,
turned him down for the Rihanna thing, but picked him up for Beyonce. So I was still happy.
But
for
that's
him.
the business too. Like, you know, anybody who's trying to be an actor, a singer, any model, you know, you get a gig today and you're riding high, and then you got to jump back on the horse the next day, because you know you have to you got to keep it going.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not always going to get everything that you go out
And
for.
that's what ballroom teaches you. It teaches you to understand to lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
No shade.
And like
No,
It'd be okay.
no, but I've
It'd be okay
always
with
said that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's you. Those the two that they give you. When you get chopped, it's like when you get told no at that job. You go back, you recreate some more shit, and you bring it back to the next ball.
Yeah.
You're not gonna always be the one to win, and we always have this other saying. I want to address these two things too, right? It's not your night, right? If it's not your night, but you know you brought your best, it just wasn't the best than the other one that presented that night. And you should be able to walk away from that and leave that shit on the floor. It doesn't normally happen. So when I say that it doesn't normally happen, when bad shit happens, the first thing that we say is, that's just ballroom. That grinds my gears when people say that, because that behavior is not just ballroom. So what do you do to change the lens of how people view bad behavior, or what do you do to hold people accountable?
Well, number one is when people start talking about this is ballroom, that is ballroom, I try to let everybody know if you were an ice skater, if you were a Korean ice skater and you were part of the Korean ice skating community, you'll be going through all the shenanigans we go through. There's girls who can't take each other. There's girls who are bashing each other over the leg, you know, for skates. There's a lot of, chicanery going on, right? So break dancers, they're battling each other. So it's just community and where we are at right now. And I've been walking with my head held high in the name of ballroom since the 90s when it wasn't acceptable. So I'm not gonna be abashed now. I'm not gonna let, because somebody had a fight in Ohio, to tarnish who we are and what we stand for, and what we do and what we're trying to get to. So yeah, no, it don't bother me.
Yeah,
That's good.
I agree as well. I don't know. I feel like you can't really change. Like, one person really can't change the lens. I mean, they have this thing where it's like change has to start from you. We know how long that will take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really just change the lens. I feel like it needs polishing. I feel like the scene does need polishing. People do like, oh, they're always fighting, and that's why anytime a gig or something, they're like, we just need some vulgars. We need to just put together a little ballroom segment and come in. And I make sure that my goal is that when we step into those rooms, that they know what's up.
I've seen you do that.
You get what I'm saying? They know that we are talented and that we are lovable individuals, that we're not this chaotic community that you see.
But those people that are knocking on the door are not those people who are seeing that kind of chaos either. They would definitely not actually to bring a group of thuggins to their Christmas party. If they thought that people were going to get beat, you know? So, I mean, they're looking, and I think like we get so scared that we have issues. People have problems. Shit is real. You know, there's going to be fights. There's going to be people who are fighting at the World Series just the other day, right? We can't just because there's a fight, and I'm not saying that we definitely don't want the fights to keep happening, but because a fight happened at a ball, we can't look at the whole community like we're trash because a fight happened. That person might be trash at that moment.
At that moment, right.
Right? You're like, you're a trashy bitch right now.
So since Kelly is one of the founders of your house, and so then you're used to being here for the shit. So let's get to some of the shit. No. So what happened? So all I ever known coming into ballroom was Jack and Andre, Mizrahi, whatever, whether go to Givenchy, back to Mizrahi. I was about to say, all of that. It was always the journey of y'all. So there was a split, and you founded the House of Gorgeous Gucci. What happened that made you guys have to go separate ways?
I think after being together, and we have created so many different levels and layers in ballroom. Like there's so many things that are in other houses or in the community. Like let's not even talk about the Hall of Fame or the Ball Awards itself. But there's just like structure, like the East Coast, the West Coast, all of that kind of stuff that are in other houses kind of came from the House of Mizrah. Kind of came up from me, you know, pushing, always looking for different ways to make us better, grow us, and make it real. You know, we're not playing house, let's be functional. And I think after 30 years of being in a Mizrahi and riding that wave, you know, I never intended to not, you know, be in my house. I never intended at this age to go start a whole new house and go through all of that. So it was an act of love. It was a labor of love for my kids who were disgruntled, who were not happy with things the way they were going. We couldn't come to a middle to find the proper shift that we needed. So the best way was just to then, you know, just separate amicably. And the rest will be in my book.
Come on, girl. Are you coming up with a book?
See, separation doesn't mean beef.
No.
Well, that brings up another question.
She's dropping gems today.
You about to act? Oh.
No, go.
Also, you know, alongside you were with someone who I love. MC Deborah was your partner in crime for me. Just come during my time coming up. How is it, you know, not sharing the stage sometimes with MC Deborah anymore?
If there's like a bitterness to the success that I'm enjoying and that ballroom is enjoying, is that she can't enjoy it in the same wave as us. That is one of the most charismatic people you will ever meet. Even when you go back and you watch clips of her and you just get lost and just like, this is a person who their mind says to do it and they just go. You know, she's versed in all types of performance, whether it's voguing, dancing, and she's fearless and she's bold and it's natural. So she deserves a big piece of this pie. Yeah. Anytime I'm out of the country, anytime I'm doing something first, you know, I think of her like she would be there. I think of Eric, who should be here. I think of persons like Cassandra, who should be here, and Laura, you know, Yolanda. You know, so when you do walk into these spaces, you're not walking by yourself. I am walking in with a lot on my shoulders that I put on because I'm walking with people. The first time I ever went to Europe, I remember sitting at Lockbridge and I took like a Sharpie and I remember writing Paris Dupree, Junior LaBeija, Daniel Rev, like all the older heads, I wrote them and put a big heart on there and then locked the bridge. Like that was my gift back to them because they're not here or they couldn't make it there.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's in my book too.
The Love Bridge.
Okay, what is the name of the book?
Well, it's still a working title, but you'll love it.
Jacks of Trade.
Jacks of all trades.
Jacks of all
That would be
trade.
nice. I love that. I love that.
Anybody else?
Well, we love Selman. Shout out to Selman.
Yes, MC Jab gave me my life. Selma used to give me my life. Even when me and Jack was having, you know, when she
Jack made you work.
I mean, Selma made me work for it a little bit.
Selma made you work.
Jack made me work for it a little bit sometimes, you know.
Selma made you work. Yeah, made you work for it.
Yeah.
You had to work for me to call you out. No.
Selma made me work to be an MC. Jack was more so like here. But everybody know Jack is always like, he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like I already done it. And so Jack don't mind passing the microphone to people, but it was Selma who gave me a hard time. Jack passed me the mic, Selma snatched it. But all in all, look who it made me today.
It made you go harder.
I needed that. I needed that balance of the sweet one and then the one.
Well,
that
you
gave me
need
a
to
hard
start
time.
snatching some mics from some of these young girls. Like,
Oh,
stop
we're gonna
that.
get to that.
You know,
I wish they don't give them to them.
You know,
but yeah, because then it's a line of like, then they're saying you're hating, you're being a hater.
Right, and I'm not.
Like
I think that I'm here for all of the talent.
What is the one worst thing that a commentator can do?
The worst thing a commentator can
miscount
do?
votes?
Miscount votes.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
Is that embarrassing?
Because they'd be like,
Is that embarrassing?
bitch, they try to, they
It's
try to set it
No,
up.
it's not our fault too, though. You have judges who are taking forever to judge.
switch votes
So, and
sometimes.
first of all, a promoter who overdoes the panel with 15, 16 judges, you're carrying.
Yeah.
There's no need.
Oh, that was one of my questions. What
Okay.
can they do differently at balls?
Yeah, let's keep it back to our 9. Let's keep it at 9. Let's keep it at 11.
Yeah,
A 9.
It need to be a cap.
But like, come on.
Once they go to
15.
11, they go.
And then you have that one judge that sits there, probably begged to be up there. Or can I
she wants
judge?
to be
He's
there.
judging from my house. That type of bitch.
And then have the
And she's gonna have the worst attitude
Yeah.
to be wanting to
Yes,
take
she would
forever to
take a
judge.
moment.
Especially for face, you ugly ass bitch. You are lucky he's letting you judge this category. And then I'm sure. Oh, it pisses me so. I'm traumatized. Don't you see sometimes I'll be waiting for
That's
a
the
judge's
same
score.
thing
I will
Junior
walk
just said.
away
Yo.
and let you carry. Yeah. I'll be like, before I read her,
Junior
and
just
get
slow,
myself
you like-
banned. Let me
You
get-
judges give me head nods.
The old school
yes.
girls, because Junior just sat over here and said that, and then you got the certified beast
Yeah.
Ooh.
taking forever to break this tie.
Yes, this is the word.
Not a certified beast.
He said
I
a
need that.
certified
They said a
beast,
certified
bitch.
beast.
Junior even
Break
dropped
it
it.
to
Junior
child.
is a key.
I love Junior.
Yeah.
I was so happy for him. I mean, I was so happy for all of you all when I got to see Cats, but I've always wanted Junior to get what he deserves because
my
Junior
God, he
is still
deserves it.
here.
Yes.
My first day walking on the set of Post, I was like, "Where's Junior?" And the girls were
such
about
a-
ruffled feathers with that. The other girls who were hired before was like, "Well, what? We don't need no."
Yes, we do.
Yes,
right.
we do.
He talked about being bitter from that.
Yeah, we
Glad
talked.
that
We
he
had
got
a big
to do Cats.
conversation.
Yeah.
I was so happy for him.
Yeah, me too. Like me too.
Yeah.
He shows up in those rooms too.
She
bitch.
does.
Oh yeah, I
She
love
dead.
him, man.
She-
I booked him
She
for a
did.
Burger King commercial we did, and she
Yes, I seen it.
she took it over.
Ballroom,
love
honey.
it.
She said- and then ballroom. You
She was
know.
telling the director
What?
how-
Yes.
She was like, no. See, if I'm the fry queen, I should be able to sit in here and you
Yes.
got the mic in front of me.
That's But the good thing
But
is
they loved it, though.
Yes,
They
they
loved
love
it.
it,
They
and they
appreciated it.
respect.
I love
You know, a
Junior.
lot of times I said like, you know, people used to be like, but that's I mean, that's not real life or something like, you know. But outside of ballroom, who are you? And bitch, you walk in these rooms and they be like the icon, like
Yeah.
they live
spills
for.
over.
I never
Yeah.
understand when
Yeah.
people say that about ballroom. They make those comments like, "Well, you're just ballroom." Ballroom is fab to me. Like, what do you mean?
You're like, I am.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
And nobody knows your name.
Yeah, at first,
Okay.
at first, a lot of people tried to bash people about like, oh, it's just this extra. It is extracurricular activity. It is, and we
People
love
all over the
it. But you have to
world.
understand, people are spending lots of money on effects,
Yes.
traveling, hotel, food, and whatever personal things that they want to
It's
do.
a
on the trip.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's
is
a
a
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
It's a
It's not
commitment.
extracurricular
Yes.
nothing. My phone rings all day, every day from members around the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not extracurricular
They
nothing.
always say,
It's-
"Hey, extracurricular."
How do
I'm
you-
like, really? But
That's another thing. How do you do it? Like, how do you juggle? Like,
Because you're also a founder of the house.
yes.
Yes.
And you seem like a very active founder.
You have to be because they're counting on you, but we're smart. When we was creating this house, I didn't run and just drop a whole bunch of rules. Let's do this, let's do this. I was like, if you guys want to do it, I've been done this, I built levels, here's the skeleton, and I want everybody to work. And they work. You know, they're working. And now coming on our 5th year, getting ready towards our 6th year, getting ready towards our house ball. Everything that we were looking at can now come into a full guide because now we're basing rules, we're basing direction based on what we've seen. You know, like one day I'll never forget that I was as a Mizrahi, I get a phone call from one of my daughters in Detroit, pissed the hell off because one of the butch queens in the house, one of the butch queen leaders in the house, is in her city in drags using her pictures to work.
Oh my.
That didn't come with a manual. In the 90s, I didn't have to deal with that.
Can you explain to
hell?
our viewers? Can you explain to our viewers what this? No, I'm joking.
You understand? So these are the kind of things that, you know, you have to start seeing to be practical about, because now what do we do about now? Another thing, you know, when 6 members walk and everybody won $1,000, how does that money get split up? You know, is it halves? Is it all equals? Or is it based on who you took out? Or, you know, did you just get 10s? Should you get? So we got to be practical because people have questions and we are evolving. We are international now. So I think we need more structure. And that's what I wanted to do with Gorgeous Gucci. I wanted to have practical structure that was going to be followed by all the founders and not just be superseded by one person whenever it felt better for whatever.
Gotta
they wanted
have
to do.
structure
Yeah,
for it
a
to
lot
be
of structure.
successful.
and good leadership.
Gotta have structure.
She about to
Yeah,
make
I
me
was
fall
structured.
out.
And I always say a good executive
Yo,
team.
you gotta stop.
Yeah.
Just do.
If you got a good
just
team-
do.
Like
It's
the
not gonna
Lambens,
work.
like look at them, right?
Yeah.
That's structure, like
Yeah.
the Muglaires.
The Muglaires.
But I mean, but when you look at Muglaire and you look at Lanvin, now I'm starting to wonder if the Lanvins kind of up the structure up a little bit more because they're fucking fucking lethal.
Yeah.
No, it's
Lethal.
so lethal.
Yeah.
They're lethal.
Round of applause to motherfucker. Round of applause. Just round of applause.
Yes.
The Lamb is
Amazing.
so I love them.
Stern house.
Definitely.
Stern.
And you need it. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, but structure. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is what happens if you don't do this. And then we can
And
move
some
forward.
people need that. Some people need some structure.
Everybody
do.
needs it.
Yeah,
Everybody needs
Yeah, to
it.
stay in line. Yeah.
So is there something? Well, okay, Jack said what he said about I'm sorry, I didn't ask you guys your pronouns.
Yeah.
Him, he, she, they, bitch,
Okay,
whatever.
because I was saying
He, she, hey,
Or,
so bitch, this bitch said no, so like, you know, keep the judges panel to like 7 to 9 or whatever. What is something you think can change that would make ballroom better?
another thing, stop booking everybody.
On the mic.
I think.
You have something to refer in your chat?
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
sorry.
stop.
So,
really
no, it's
pisses
not
her
really. I just think that I can't be everywhere at one time. Neither can Jack. But as us being highly requested, I just think that people need to like work around us.
Oh my God!
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm just 50% serious when I say that. But no, I really think.
So you want it all? I want it all.
Yeah, I do want it all. I don't want nobody to, you know, because I know this is on YouTube. I know YouTube comments could be business.
But no, you're
I'm
saying
always
you
ready
don't
for
mind.
that,
You
but-
work that hard and you don't
Yeah,
mind
I
working
do.
hard to get even
I
further.
do work hard, and I feel like a lot of people get it so much easier. I think you have to put a lot of work, commitment. You know how many flights that we get on? Sometimes you feel like you coming on with a cold, and I have like all this medicine in my bag, getting on a flight because I know I'm coming with a cold, but I need to get to this money and make it work. You got people that's ready to grind and really get to the bag, but also enjoy ballroom and it means a lot to them, and they want to see a successful ball happen, and they're not excited about it ending.
So you're not saying that you want to monopolize the, you know, being a commentator. You're just saying that they need to put people who are qualified to be on the mic instead of just putting.
And not
people
saying that they're not saying other people aren't. They're just not qualified enough.
You
know what I mean?
Y'all don't think it should be
But
a
I
balance,
did hear
though?
you say.
Y'all don't think it should be a balance?
I mean, I think that
One
they
professional, one unprofessional. I feel like there should always
but
be.
I think they also should
You
learn
guys-
history.
No, bitch.
They
Both
need to
people should
learn
be
more.
professional.
No,
You
the
need
reason I
more
say
from
it
my-
is because
They
you
gotta
have,
grow. They have to grow.
because the person professional it knows how to run the whole
Right.
ball, but the person that's unprofessional, they know how
There's a chance.
They know how to like they work great together. It's just it's
So I
magic
would say
to me.
unprofessional.
So I would
just
say
think that
one more season,
one more,
yeah.
A
one
little
more
bit.
qualified.
Yeah, but you also have to. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna let you go.
She's
But I
like
also-
one unprofessional.
I also want to say
Her
that as
bitch.
commentator versus commentator being a category that's fluently happening, a lot of people get confused and think, oh, I'm working commentator, I could be an MC. No. Maybe you could just, it's okay if
gotta
you
take the
walk.
mic.
It's all right if you
You
just
said
walk
take the mic.
commentator versus commentator. And that's it. And sometimes that's just it.
Yeah.
But some people think I need to be booked for a ball. No.
Oh, everybody gonna try to do.
Everybody want to be booked.
People-
I mean,
They
they
wanna-
do,
they
but they
gonna
don't.
wanna-
It's
they
not.
don't
No.
have it.
Well, didn't you
I'm
make a
sorry.
post the other day saying that you was going to start giving a training on how to throw a ball?
How to successfully throw a ball? Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You got to show and tell.
See, and
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like when
Show and
you
tell.
do that and you start to give back, and that way then you build those institutions and those structures for something that is sustainable. I do think that ballroom will be
It's not
an
that,
entity
some people
of
are
its
just
own.
crooks. Like some people just are in it just to make money. And of course we
Yes.
want to make money, but bitch, you still want to give like a good experience.
wise man,
and some people are
yeah.
not. And I feel like that a person can only treat you how you allow them to treat you.
Right.
So we keep patronizing the same people who are doing these same things. Why are they gonna change?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
same
So I don't
judges,
think it's
the
a problem
same people.
with
Yeah.
knowing how to, you know, maybe they do need a class on it, but it's not that hard if they're really being like, you know, honest.
Yeah.
So I just found it interesting
We
that
can back
I found it interesting that you had made that post like that, and I was like, you know, this is what I mean, because you're right. I've said it. Like I want ballroom to get to a point where we have all these things built in, where we could just make a movie, or we could just do things that we want to do on our own, and other people pay to experience what we ultimately have within ourselves. But then there are those who are like doing it just for the money,
Yeah.
right? And then we'll start posting about how much money one person made, or this person to call and say how much they got. Like these things happen. It's competitive, right? But a wise person told me that your talents are not only for profit, You know, it's what you give back. So when I saw you do that, I was like, oh, wow, you know, that's interesting. And I wanted to tell you, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that you could be someone that could lead the new generation into how to throw a ball. And we even teach some of the older ones how to throw a successful ball.
Yeah, some
Because you've
people-
learned from
yeah.
Some
that.
people are not
Yeah.
business savvy. Like once you
Because
work
not
with them,
everybody-
you be
everybody
like,
needs to
you
throw
be
a
like,
ball.
oh my God, you didn't know.
Yeah,
You be like, oh,
right.
you didn't know that, bitch? No, we need a contract.
You had no clue?
Like which
Right.
one? Like
Well,
no,
yeah.
let's
But see,
get a
I
contract
do
from
But
them.
he's
believe ballroom
learning
has
from
a
the best.
structure.
Yeah,
He's
like-
learning from the best.
Yeah, it does.
That's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people
Yeah.
don't know. So is there anything that we didn't touch on that you guys would like to touch on before
Can
we
I
get
ask
to the
y'all one
ball?
question
Yes.
before you? What is something that y'all want to give to up and coming commentators?
What would be your advice to them?
Yeah.
Learn each other's chants and know the categories.
Stop rapping.
In gel.
Learn each other's
And learn
chants.
how to do
And don't be
it.
like, how do y'all feel about people who just like you can tell they just sat back and mimicked you, like they just sat
Or
back
they
and was like,
rapping.
Oh,
like I'm
Remember
like,
you was
wish I
like,
would do
remember you was
that.
just like, you came with a pen and you ate it. You came with a pen and when you walk commentator versus commentator.
Jack,
I
you remember
loved
that
it.
night?
I
Do you
loved
Do you remember
it.
you asked
He
me?
said he came up on the stage and was like,
Get up here.
He was
Yeah, I
like,
wasn't
when
walking.
now he said this is not a rap battle. After the person rapped,
Yeah,
cleared
the commentator's
it.
not champions.
Yeah, he said I was just like,
Yeah, they wanted the mic, and I was like, nope, it's done. It's not
That's the night I debuted as a West that night. I just became a West, and I wasn't walking. I was just going to support. And Jack was like, "You walking, commentators?" I was like, "No." He was like, "You're walking." And I walked and won that night. It was my first time
carried.
ever. First time walking and winning. Well, my last time walking commentator was commentator. I just don't feel like it's for me.
but you know, you cleared it. It is for you. You cleared it.
Yeah,
you
now
feel
it's,
above it, but
now
you
it's like,
cleared
child,
it.
that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That's
it,
what
bro,
I
that's
do.
it.
Yeah, I feel like if I was still walking, even if I had like it wasn't a good night for me, they would still pick me because it's like, girl, she's.
You would
Even if I
gag.
look at that, okay,
They don't-
they
you
would get
would
you
gag.
together, bitch.
They would take
And
it
this
with
one,
that.
bitch, gonna put
They would
this
get
together.
that.
Or they might be
They would
scared
gag.
because they know you getting back on that mic.
Yeah.
Like,
I said either or.
cut
They
that
Right
mic.
at OTA.
Yeah, I'm getting her back. or-
OTA judges panel.
I'm like, hey, I'm
I be at
sorry.
home like, okay, bitch. Now, is they really trying it, or is it?
Did
you
like,
watch
I
every
know.
Monday faithfully?
No, I don't watch OTA. I be bored with OTA unless it's like a hot night, like
Yeah.
this Monday.
Oh, Monday's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
It's
this
gonna be
one's
like
gonna
I
be
watch
dope.
Tune
that.
in to Monday.
Monday's
guys.
gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so I think we should get to the bowl now. This is our part where
So
we.
this is the goal bowl. She's a serious danger, and you want to go in the bowl, pick a question. If you don't want to answer, take a shot. So you know what time it is. This is where we get crazy, we get sexy, and we get cool. This is the Femme Queen Crazy and Sexy Cool Shot Game Hour, and we're about to get messy with the girls. Stay tuned. And we're back, guys, with the Femme Queen Crazy, Sexy, and Cool show, and we're about to play the game. You ready, Jack?
The go bowl.
The go bowl.
The go bowl. The go bowl. Jack's gonna pick out the go bowl. It's at the
That's cute. That's cute.
We gotta do the jingle.
Oh no, y'all
We
ate
gotta
that
jingle, we
together,
gotta
babe. Oh, that was good. That's cute.
Okay, small writing again.
It's the go bowl.
What does it say?
Jacques, do you feel that a lot of the international success of ballroom is taken away from the integrity of the culture? No, I don't. I do not think the international success of ballroom is taken away from a culture. I think it's adding to it. I think what we're realizing is that in any pocket, any corner of the world, that there's queer, trans, gay, bi people that needs an outlet, that ballroom is definitely that place where you can go and plug yourself in and live out loud. Yeah. So, no.
Okay.
Ballroom touches all over the world.
I'm still gonna take my shot.
Shot time.
That was fast.
Okay, what do I?
Do I got another
No, you gotta do
You gotta
all
pick
yours.
two more.
Oh, you get two more. 'cause
No, you have to
two more
take the
questions.
shot.
Oh, the whole
I
thing.
like
can
this
just-
shit. Was you sipping?
No, you don't. Jack didn't have to take the whole thing.
Yeah, because they answered.
Oh, he answered it. Oh.
But you can.
Did y'all be scared to say he and shit stuff now, bitch? Because it's like, dang.
Go
I'm about to say,
bowl,
I'm
go
gonna call him
bowl.
like that.
Still picking at the go bowl.
This bitch.
Now you gotta do that every Sunday.
This bitch going in the go bowl.
What is your least favorite thing about being Jack? My least favorite thing about being myself is that I'm always too accommodating. Like, I'm always, like, if you ask me to do something, I really don't want to do it, and just like you were saying earlier, you know, sometimes we don't learn how to take time out for ourselves.
Okay. Let's go.
One more go-bo?
Yeah.
Give yourself
Go, go, this bitch sticking in the go,
Oh, we
What's
really have
the
to do
most
that.
you got paid for an LSS and who paid for it?
Take your I knew it.
No, I never got paid for an LSS, but people are always giving me stuff and always buying me drinks at balls, like right before we start LSS, and you can burn. I'm still not calling you out.
You like the mistake standing right there where you look
they be like,
So let me see what my fourth question was.
yo, that is
Shake of the ball.
go, go, this bitch sticking in the go,
That's what I'm gonna key.
What category do you least?
Oh my God, I wish you would have answered that.
What is it?
I didn't see that one.
Name one ball promoter that played with your feed.
Oh my God, I'm still waiting for $100 from Magnum.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sorry. I had to answer that one. It's so funny that I don't know if he was on the Iconic Point of View or supposed to be on Kelly's show. And I was like, is he going up there without paying everybody first?
Yeah, I heard
But I
the girls
still-
was waiting for money from there.
Yes, the last
What
band.
the
Sign
fuck?
your contract, guys.
The last band for
Prodigy?
3,000. It was a lot.
Escada.
The one that
Yeah.
he's a different. He's a, I don't know what he is now.
Maybe he won't book me again after this. Who knows?
I don't
Well, if she ain't giving you $100, you do not want to go.
All right, the question is, what category do you least look forward to commentating? It would have to be Owe New Way. I know, and I love the art of it. I think it's so amazing, but I'm still adjusting to how to like commentate
For
that.
it, okay.
So I'm still
That's
working on
honest,
it.
and that's
it's
real.
honest.
That's real.
I'm still working
That's
on
real.
it.
I
I'm still
love
working
that.
on it. The go-bo, this is sticking in the go-bo. I love the little jingle. You have to keep that jingle, please. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Oh gosh. Name one house that you don't see it for in ballroom.
Are they having a house ball
Are
next
you going
year?
to keep it Brooklyn? Is it going to be Brooklyn at the top?
Oh my God, only if you knew. Okay.
Ooh! The
go-bo, this bitch going in the go-bo. You live for that. I know you do things.
You gotta hit the ball.
It's okay.
Oh God. Which commentator is difficult to work with?
That's the go ball.
Difficult. Dang. Oh gosh. I'm sorry.
Yo,
He said, "Look, I'm in my years. I
I
ain't
just
trying
don't
to
have
be."
time. Yeah.
I get it.
Well, they'll definitely be at you on Monday. Like,
Okay, well,
so you were feeling crazy, sexy, cool.
okay.
I know you was talking about me. Yeah.
That's even in your eyes. It looked like you wanted to say us.
the go ball.
I know you wanted to say me.
I know you wanted to say.
Right.
So this has been amazing, but I think you guys give like the future ball walkers or anybody who's walking ball that's really new. Can you give them some type of advice before we close out?
Sure, I say express yourself, right? Ballroom is meant for you to come and have fun, tap into another side of you, to another part of you you never even knew existed. Not everything is going to be for you, but try, and don't get discouraged by getting chopped. Do not get discouraged by getting read. Do not care about the comments, whether they're positive or negative after each and every clip. Don't get distracted. Use ballroom as a way to empower that other person inside of you and be creative.
Yes. I would say command the room. I think that's really, really important as being an MC. It's commanding the room. And you always told me this, keep your foot on it. Remember you always tell me that?
Keep your phone.
You say, anytime I get into like any situation with anybody ages in the box, like, yo, like, fuck that. Keep your foot on your necks. And you know, you have to. So that's my advice.
Love Asia.
Yeah, she'd be like, yo, keep your foot on your neck. I think that's really, really important. Because if you allow them to run over you, they will. And that's why I'm so stern. Some people say, oh, you're so mean. No, I think you mistaken me being mean for having structure. I want to get the ball
boundaries.
done. Yeah, and I have boundaries. I think some people, this era is not used to that. But it's tough love.
That's so.
Yeah.
Is there anything before we wrap up? Is there anything you guys have up and coming that you guys want to announce, or anything you want us to be ready for, excited for?
Well, I look forward to doing Ebony Ball. I know I'm doing the Ebony Ball. Me and Jax is doing the Ebony Ball. I look forward to doing St. Laurent Ball in January. Those are some things going. I do have Red Ball coming up. I'm World AIDS Day celebrating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's December
you're doing the Red
14th.
Well, now,
The Red Ball.
You're doing
Yeah,
the Red
World
Ball.
AIDS Day,
I was
Kiki
gonna
Ball.
say-
Simba
yeah.
used to do
That Simba did. So
Yes.
now me and Nico took over and did that. So I'm forward.
that.
Oh, that's nice. I gotta get a red outfit. I'm coming.
I really love that.
For me, we've got a couple little things coming down the pipeline. We're already planning for our next big Reverie special. We're already looking at our next Elite 8 in several categories. We are about to do some groundbreaking work on the side of sexual health, which, you ladies will be instrumental in getting the word out and doing that. So I'm excited about that. And I get to go to my dream trip for the holidays. I'm going to Thailand and Bali. Christmas, from the whole Christmas to New Year's, and then coming right back. And so I'm excited about that. And like I said earlier, my book, I've really been putting some things in there. Law really inspired me from his book launch, and it's doing really well.
Yeah.
And I think you guys will be really surprised and interested to hear what I gotta say.
That's dope. I'm actually going to I'm going to do a ball in Hawaii in December.
Really?
In Honolulu.
So
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
they have a nice ballroom scene out there.
I'm
They're
excited.
part of the West Coast. The Hawaii team is
over
part
that
of the
way.
West Coast.
They're
So we
fast.
did a West Coast rumble, and that team, we had a team from
okay.
Hawaii come through. When I tell you, they slayed it. Like the one girl out there, Kalua, when I tell you she vogues,
I love
she's
Destiny.
a big girl. But when I tell you she has so much control and so much poise, and it's amazing to see
Also,
her.
your Wiz group.
Yeah, the Wiz group is back. I'm excited.
excited. The Wiz group.
Well, I never back in the day. They used to, all my friends used to go, and I never could go. I
So
never
good.
was
So this is
available.
your
I used
chance to
go.
come back.
Explain to us what the Wiz
So
Group
I,
is.
myself, Chi-Chi, and Twiggy, a couple of years back when we were working with Faces New York, we created an interactive program called the Wiz Group. It was just like a road to self-discovery, right? It was me sitting in the house and seeing that every week we were going to do something with the kids, what it would look like. So I figured, what was my path when I came out? Like, who did I meet along my way to become the wizard or to meet the wizard, right? And how we always talk about you being my Dorothy.
Wow.
And so that's always been in my head. So we ended up creating a really cool program, 8 different steps where it's just like who you meet along this yellow brick road that we call ballroom, right? So like the first time when Dorothy landed, she met the scarecrow, the Tin Man, right? The scarecrow gave her brains, so that's the person who kind of gave you knowledge into the scene.
Right.
Then the heart, the Tin Man was the heart, right? The first person you either fell in love with or you had love for in the scene. How you got courage. I mean, we would go through all of these steps for 8 sessions, and it was an opportunity to get to know the next generation. It was them to know us. It was so intimate. And then the end goal is for us to collaborate and not just sit there and just, have exercises and do all this other stuff. It's really to collaborate our talents and then eventually put together a community play. Because I want to bring that back.
I'm coming when this starts.
Yes, I would love to have you.
I'm definitely coming to the Wiz.
Yes,
I never
I
done
would
it.
love to have you. Every
I
Wednesday
never
with
been.
Scan Harbor, so in Harlem, and it's great. So
When did
I'm
it
excited.
started already? Or?
We started last week, but it's every Wednesday. Yep, just one session. So you
Oh,
didn't
that's
miss.
sweet. Okay. I have to make it too. I've never been to one, but I've always heard it.
So it's only a 1 session time?
It's 8 sessions, but
8
we're doing it
sessions,
once a week on
So
Wednesday.
you're on the second one coming now. This
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
so-
that first one was literally just like an intro, so it wasn't
Right.
the actual start of the session.
When did
so you
they-
didn't miss anything.
So
No.
Okay.
this week is the first one.
Yeah. So this week we're gonna play this crazy game. If you come, it's super fun.
What's the time? What's the time?
From 6:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah. 120 East 110th Street. Come see
Okay.
us.
In Harlem, right in Harlem.
It's at the Clinton Community Center, yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
this has been amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Who
you.
knew that I would get to interview Jack?
I did.
Interview Jack is Snookie.
Yes,
This
thank
has
you.
been amazing. This
And you
is a
ladies are
wonderful
amazing too, though.
Yes, ladies, give yourselves a
Y'all
round of
so
applause.
amazing,
Y'all have
too.
grown.
You know, just left
This
Sweden
is
with
gonna
you.
grow.
Yes.
And you just did Jellicle Ball, and you're still doing advocacy work. So
She just won $5,000.
and you won 5K. I wasn't
Her
there
first.
to see that.
She's catching up to the girl.
Right, I
14
love
years,
it.
give me my money.
love it.
Oh, I loved your video with the Margellas. Give me my money.
I love it.
No, you did it with these girls. No, when you did give me my money and they walked away from you. Oh, you did it.
Oh, that was the Jellicle Cat.
I was like, which one?
What?
Yes, I love it. Hope to see you at OTA tomorrow.
Yeah, let's be outside.
The
It's
building's gonna be
Halloween.
lit.
Please go vote. Oh my God.
Yes.
I was getting ready to say,
Please
I
vote.
was just getting ready to say before we close out, we understand that during this time, you know, there are a lot of critical thinking and critical things that are coming down your timeline. We want to say thank you for taking the time to sit with us in this moment, and this will probably come out after the vote. But what I want you to understand is no matter how this goes, our ancestors have done more with less. We won't go back, and we will continue to be resilient. And no matter the vote, just know that you did what you needed to do in this moment. Please continue to vote, not just in this election, but for in your local legislative areas. Please vote, shape humanity. We can change humanity, and I hope that this election has showed you that.
Keep it blue, boo.
I almost shouted this when you said our ancestors.
Yes, I was on the
Okay.
shower. That was the same.
Mine was back here getting ready. They're eating the cats.
This has been another install of Femme Queen Crazy.
Sexy.
Cool.
Super.